My fiancé suddenly wants a bachelor party. My fiancé and I have been together well over 4 years. This is both our second time down the aisle. We got engaged last Christmas, and are both the stupid weddings type, me falling more into the romantic, it's just about us in our love, why need all the attention and dog and pony show? Him being more, it's stupid and expensive and exhausting. So, we decided to elope this December. From the beginning, we've made it clear to everyone this is a just us thing. We are eloping to Jamaica just us two and having a well-deserved vacation. Sandals has a free wedding option if you stay 3+ nights, so we said sign us up. His mom originally wanted to throw us an engagement party with just family and close family friends. My fiancé said it sounded lame and boring, and has recently said it was weird because they would only be giving us gifts because of their obligation as friends to their parents and aren't actually friends with me. I always thought it sounded nice, as my last go around, no one was excited at all about the wedding since we were in college and it was a 5-year engagement. I missed feeling a little special and swept up in the romance of the upcoming nuptials. And had hoped to find a little of that feeling this time around. However, it did seem a bit odd, and we wanted to keep things minimal, so we declined. We discussed this in great detail when making our decision and agreed no celebrations other than what we do in Jamaica, as it should be about our love and commitment to each other, not the other hoopla surrounding weddings nowadays. There have been several times his mom has tried to plan a day before we leave to get a massage and mani/pedi, but I am always met with a side eye from my fiancé and his dad/brother egging him on about, oh, that means you get a bachelor party. So, I have politely declined her offers, as it doesn't seem fair for me to be pampered and him not have anything. We had an agreement. Cut to this week, he made comments to his friends that he is going to get a bachelor party by making me feel super loved and doted on. Which in some aspects seems sweet, but in others very manipulative. When I try and have a conversation about it, and say that since we made an agreement back in December and I can't go back in time and have a nice little engagement party for the both of us, it's a hard line in the sand for me that we shouldn't have bachelor/bachelorette parties, as I believe a decision made should be a decision kept. I have never had any intention or interest, as I don't have friends or family in the area. I moved away from my home state here to be with my fiancé, so he does hold that against me for sticking to our agreement. He immediately cuts me off and tells me I am giving him an ultimatum, and refuses to hear me out or let me explain that I just want to commit to our decision that we made almost a year ago. Now that we're 2 months out, of course it becomes an issue. I wish I could say I hadn't expected it, but alas, I had been dreading this backpedal. He says that he thinks it's stupid I'm upset that he wants to celebrate marrying me, and that I don't understand that guys like to have one last night of being single, even though he had a bachelor party his last time around. To which I say his last night of being single was the night before he asked me to date. To this, obviously annoyed and upset, he rolls his eyes, and says it's a matter of phrasing and that guys just want to get out and have fun before being locked down with their boring, harpies of wives. Gotta love that dig. How do I have this conversation with him and not make it seem like an ultimatum? Ultimatums are unhealthy, but boundaries are productive. I just want us to stand firm in our agreement, and I don't think it's fair that for the last 9 months we've been low-key about the whole thing, and I've not been letting myself get swept up in the romanticism or excitedness of it all with others. I just had really hoped our engagement season to be one of excitement and cherishing each other, but it's just been very muted and blank because we agreed not to make a thing of it. To me, it feels like he wants to celebrate raucously with his friends and this is an excuse, but I just don't know how to phrase it or approach without making it seem like an ultimatum but also keeping boundaries. Comment. Is this really a hill you're willing to die on? If I were you, I would hit up Mill, plan a nice spa day, go shopping for your Jamaica trip, new outfits etc., go to a nice restaurant and have fun. You can change plans, and celebrate. Yeah, he changed his mind, it happens, so change your views, allow yourself to get swept up in it like you've been wanting to. Just because you're eloping doesn't mean you have to shut everyone out from being happy for you and wanting to celebrate you. See, that's the issue. Why are you stuffing down your feelings to begin with? That's a you problem. You might want to chat with a therapist about this. He became excited. That's a good thing. It's getting close and people are cheering for him and getting him pumped. Let him be excited and celebrate. You shouldn't have stuffed any feelings down in the first place. That wasn't fair to you. He was being a wet blanket. I still say plan a fun day/weekend to do fun things for your trip with Mill and any other girls you like. What is the thing you're most hung up on? Is it him suddenly changing his mind? Is it because he could potentially have a party and you wouldn't because you don't have any friends in the area? Is it because you think something bad will happen at his party? Perhaps you can find a compromise somewhere. I understand you didn't have fanfare over the past year, but you still have a little bit of time. Perhaps his mom would still plan a little something for you guys? Like a send-off prior to your trip? Or perhaps you can ask a few girlfriends to fly in to celebrate with you since he's going to celebrate with his friends. I don't understand why you keep deferring to him about things that actually seem important to you. Also, people change their minds. Maybe a year ago he didn't want a bachelor party but now he does. Nothing wrong with that. It just seems like a weird dynamic where you're not standing up for what you want or are trying to be cool girl but want to punish him for it now. I don't know. This doesn't seem like a healthy way to be starting a marriage. I don't think you're being honest with yourself about this. You wanted an engagement party. It sounds like you'd like some kind of bachelorette/girls' day. Is the truth that you actually did want more of a wedding? That's the picture I'm getting from your post and replies. This seems like a bigger issue of you going along with what your fiancé wants and convincing yourself you're happy with it. In a healthy relationship, people can disagree and work together to find a compromise. Why isn't that happening in your relationship? If you don't think your fiancé is ready for the commitment of marriage, that's a whole other thing. Otherwise, a consequence of eloping is that you're not going to have the pre-wedding events and excitement that people feel about coming to a celebration. I'm sure people are happy for you and it sounds like some of them, like your mother-in-law and your fiancé's friends, have expressed that. But in the absence of a wedding, there's not much to do beyond offering congratulations. Your fiancé was also right, for the wrong reason, about not having an engagement party since none of those people would have been invited to the wedding. This might be a precursor to how he will act in the marriage. You'll agree, then down the road he'll change his mind and make you feel like the bad guy for speaking up. So then he'll get his way, and he knows you'll stuff down your feelings and not fight it. So he wins. Every single time. This is manipulation. Next story 2. How do I communicate to my BF that he's not comforting me in the ways I want to be during my family member's loss? I feel like I'm being too emotional and needy. We've been dating for 9 years, in that 9 years I've really only experienced pet deaths, which all of them were hard. My BF did a great job helping me out during those times. I felt loved and supported. But I've recently lost a family member who, while I wasn't completely close with, we had a bond whenever we were together, and it's a hard loss. She had a horrible cancer, and when I told him while he was on a video game, World of Warcraft specifically, that's been known he gets sucked into, he has ADHD and really gets sucked into the video game world, that she was deciding to get off treatment, he did immediately get off of his game, but during comforting me when we had a break he went to his computer and tried clicking an invite into a dungeon and was like, damn it, I missed it. This just shocked me because I had just told him my aunt was deciding to die, rightfully so, still upsetting. He took his focus away when we got a break during comfort and immediately switched his mind back to the game. I immediately expressed hurt and he understood and apologized and said it was stupid of him to do. We haven't talked about that since. We have a therapy session coming up and I plan on talking about it then. But this isn't the only thing. He has been by my side since she's passed. He's been holding me when I've cried, and asking if I need anything. Mostly just been quiet and being by my side. But something I like is my partner giving gestures that he is thinking of me from time to time. Especially during a hard time. He's actually done this earlier this year. He gave me flowers randomly, which was sweet. But that's what I'm craving, is for him to go out and get me a gift showing he's thinking of me. When he had a family member pass, I got him a stuffed animal and he said it meant a lot and it was really sweet. I want that. I've told him so many times in the past before. I appreciate that stuff. I mean, it's only been a day, but he was out alone last night and had the chance to. It just feels weird asking him to do it and then him doing it. It feels like I'm telling him what to do, not him doing it himself. I feel like I might be being too emotional, but I can't tell. I do care and appreciate that he's wanting to stick by my side. I asked him how he wants to support me and he said that being by my side to talk and listen. But he's also just been so quiet. Like not talking, just being there, lol. While I don't want to be bashing him, it just feels like I'm not supported in the way I need to. Like when we were in bed, he was giving me gentle rubs for a few seconds before he turned over on his side, then he stopped after that. He said his stomach hurt and he needed to be turned over, which I get, It just made me sad. It was a few second loving rub, then he turned over and the comfort stopped. He didn't reach out to keep touching me. When I asked, I said he could reach out and touch a foot to mine just to know he was there, and he did that. But he didn't ask if I wanted more comfort before turning over. He told me he thought I was already almost asleep and his stomach hurt, so he turned over. I just wished he asked beforehand. Anyways, I feel upset about the wow thing, and not really communicating. I've asked him for more support. I feel like it hasn't come across yet since asking him. So now I don't know what to do. And I hate that I have to focus on this during this time.